Hey guys, you know Love Island is still playing. I've decided to mute it and just start this review because I genuinely do not care to see Meg in that villa, or Megan, and I do not care to see Blue in that villa. Guys, I actually don't care. So we're going to get started with today's review, okay, with good vibes. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone's doing okay and everyone is doing well. Another day, another cheeky Love Island review. And guys, I'm not going to hold you. It is getting harder and harder to review the show. Yeah, it's getting harder and harder. Okay, but we're gonna get into it. So let's start off with Tony, Yaz, Ty and Cash. Guys, another baddie has left the villa, and that baddie goes by the name of Billykiss. Yes, Billykiss has been dumped from the villa. Now, of course, Yaz and Tony were talking about, oh yeah, like, you know, Billykiss is our friend and everything like that. And then Ty was speaking about how, you know, things have blossomed so much with Angel, but it's early days. I don't want to hear but. It's early days. Okay, I don't want to hear but it's early days when it comes to Ty and Angel, because y'all have been doing a lot. Okay, you guys have been doing a lot. Tony obviously asked Cash, you know, if there was a recoupling right now, who would you pick? Because in picking so, you know, it will pretty much help you with your decision. And Cash obviously said that it's 50-50, which was quite interesting, especially after he had that kiss with Tony, which I found quite interesting. But anyway, they ended up voting Billykiss out. I'm not surprised. I did already say this in yesterday's review. If they were going to vote Angel out, Ty would have left with her, and obviously that's not going to happen. And also, it made sense to vote Billykiss out because Billykiss oh, actually, should we see the tomorrow night? Let's see. Sorry, guys. I genuinely had to mute it. Oh, it's the Grafties. I'm closing that laptop. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to know. Okay, cool. But yeah, like I was saying, yeah, and obviously Billykiss was technically the one that was in the way of Cash and Tony obviously going further. You guys already know how I feel about Cash, Billykiss, Tony, that whole situation. If you've watched yesterday's review, you'll definitely know. Now, of course, which was quite interesting was when Billykiss was obviously like crying and getting ready to go, Tony was just like, oh, now he can focus on one of us. And I know someone, or now he can focus on one of us and not two, something along those lines. And you guys know how I feel about Tony. I actually do really like Tony. I just feel like some of the comments that she was, and okay, technically you can't be mad because she's saying the truth, but it just felt a bit, do you know what I mean? I was just thinking, and even Helena was now saying, oh, we live to survive another day, because obviously they're Paddy Angel. Guys, generally, I'm up to here with these reviews. Okay, it's the community and our dedication and commitment to see this season through that is getting me through these reviews, because genuinely, I'm ready for this to be wrapped up. Yeah, I'm ready for this to be wrapped up. But yeah, guys, Billykiss is gone. And once again, I said it in my review on live and also yesterday, I'm wishing her all the success and all the brand deals that this life has to offer. A beautiful babe, and I'm really gutted. Even I was really gutted to see her cry, actually. I was actually quite sad seeing Billykiss cry. Such a beautiful babe, and obviously crying because it was emotional. And even before she left, her and Cash had a conversation. They were laughing as well. She was crying, he was comforting her. And yeah, it was sad, okay? It was definitely sad. And also, I wrote this down as well. Harry and Conor were also in the bottom two. Why were the girls the only two that were considered the ones that had to be dumped from? I don't understand why they couldn't dump a guy as well. Anyway, we're gonna cross that bridge later. Cool. Let's move on to Harry and Conor having a conversation. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Cool. Conor needs to stop confiding in Harry. I don't understand where and when that started, okay? I don't really understand. And I do feel like when it comes to Conor, I said this in my other reviews as well, it low-key gives that he needs validation from other people to validate his own feelings and thoughts. That's the vibe that I get. No one is saying you can't speak to other guys about how you're feeling in regards to Shakira or situations like that, but it's the fact he went from Conor, then he went to Ty, then he went that. Just, what do you feel about the situation, babe? And how about we work on that as an individual rather than input that you're getting from other people? Do you know what I mean? Obviously Harry was saying, you know, if it's my time, it's my time, you know, I'm still here, you know, whatevs. Okay. And Conor was saying as well that, you know, this puts things into perspective with Shakira with her walls up, and right now, I know I'm overthinking, but I really like her and did it. Guys, you guys already know how I feel about Conor. I actually, and I've said this before, the second Conor and Shakira decided to go from friends to lovers or situations or whatever. Why am I sinking already? Hold on. That's better. The second they decided to go from friends to lovers, and I did already let you know that I didn't see the spark between Shakira and Conor on that level, and something was just off. I do really like Shakira, I just don't like Shakira for Conor. And we're going to get into that later on anyway. Next, moving on to Tony and Cash going for a chat. Of course, she said it wasn't an easy decision, but, you know, it feels like they both would have chosen differently, i.e. insinuating that she would have chosen, I think, Angel? and he would have chosen Billykiss. I don't know, guys. Generally, I really don't know, but I feel like obviously she's playing nice because Billykiss was her friend. Whether that's true or not, we don't know. But you definitely want a Billykiss gone, sis. Like, it's okay. Okay, it's okay to not pretend. But anyway, they ended up having a kiss. Next, moving on to Yaz and Jamie, talking about her being the favorite girl. I honestly do not mind Yaz being the favorite girl. I actually do really love her, and I feel like the favorite girl vote won't get to her head, unlike some other people who really want that title. If you know, you know. Next, moving on, Harry and Helena. Guys, at this point, everything that I said in yesterday's review still stands. Generally, it's just going to be straight bullet points when it comes to Harry and Helena, because I genuinely don't have any words to say. They're talking about being exclusive and all that. I'm not falling for the propaganda, okay? I'm not falling for the PR with Harry and Helena and Meghan Dejon. It's not changing over here. I've said this from the get-go, guys, and it's not, I hope you know it's not changing. It's not changing. And if it changes for you, you better expose yourself in the comments, okay? Expose yourself. Last but not least, again, Conor was now talking to Ty, and he was like, oh, obviously left to him, I would have made it exclusive with her. And I just found that comment quite interesting, considering you know that she's not where you are. At the end of the day, she has already explained her situation. She has explained that she's a slow burner, that she has her walls up. So you saying, oh, I would have made it exclusive, but she's not there. In order for it to be, by the way, I also hate that word, but in order for it to be exclusive, both parties have to be involved and on the same page. You are on your ones, okay? And Shakira is still on chapter 1. You know what I'm saying? So I just felt like it was given a bit much. And I feel like as much as he does like Shakira, I don't feel like he was really giving her room and opportunities to be able to, I'm going to say heal. Yeah, I'm going to say heal, because we know she ended up crying later. Heal from the Harry situation. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I don't mind. But do let me know down in the comments. Nighttime, nothing to discuss other than the fact that Meg and Dejon, I don't know what was going on there, but that bed was jumping and we didn't need to see those scenes. Okay, what a terrible day to have eyes. Okay, cool. Now let's move on to the following day. Yeah, Shakira and Tony were talking about Harry and Shakira. Obviously, not Harry and Shakira, sorry, Harry and Helena. Shakira was saying, you know, like she is really struggling, but she does really like him, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get into that later on as well, because I do feel like feelings are true, okay? We all have feelings, we all have emotions, but what Shakira is feeling for Harry, I need her to actually feel it and let it go in the dustbin immediately, please. I don't know what all the girls actually see in Harry. I don't know. Maybe in the other, because we only watched 1 hour, maybe the other 23 hours in that villa, he's the most charming and loving and what. But I don't know what all of the girlies are seeing in Harry. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I'm just a bit confused. Okay, I'm definitely a bit confused. Of course, Meg was talking to Helena. She confirmed that they did do XYZ, and Helena was just like, yeah, like we've done bits too. I don't know if it was given Battle of the Bits, but honestly, like I genuinely don't want to know about their freaky times. I did. She was like, yeah, like obviously, I don't think me and Harry are gonna dare. Like obviously, like we've done bits, yeah, like we've definitely done bits. Hold it, babe. Okay, I don't want to speak about Harry and Helena, guys. I'm very much over all of that. Of course, Dejon was also speaking to Harry as well, talking about how sometimes he's looking at Meg and he feels like, oh, like obviously, as someone I look at, I'm just thinking like, oh, like I love him. I'm just thinking, because Dejon has been moving from level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the past 2 episodes. I don't know how, what, when, where, who, but Babes is not winning that 50k, okay? I know they're going to make it to the finals, and this is what I said again. I'm not falling for the awesome propaganda. I don't know why all of a sudden now they're getting all the happy edits. They're so happy, they're so in love. I don't care how official they are in that villa. Bye. And it's not changing over here. It's not changing over here. Of course, Tony and Cash now ended up going to the hideaway. Yeah. Guys, I do really like Tony and Cash together, but I just wonder, are they someone told me, and people have told me that Tony said that she's relocating to the UK, but I just don't, I don't know. Guys, can I be honest? I feel like if Billykiss was actually had longer in the villa, I feel like Cash may have coupled up with her, you know. I know he does like Tony. I definitely do. But anyway, I don't know, guys, I don't know. But they were in the hideaway. They shared a couple kisses, speaking about they are so back and they are so back together. But yeah, Tony and Cash are cute. I can't hold you, but she needs to really hold that L for Harrison, because I don't understand how she allowed that small boy to get into her head 2 seconds before the recoupling. If she didn't recouple up with Harrison and that recoupling, I think actually would have been fine. But you let that small boy get into your head. Tony. She's lucky. Cash is a nice guy, I'll be honest with you. Cash is a nice guy. And I think that is nice as well. He's a genuine guy as well, and he genuinely is a nice guy. So I think that definitely did work in her favour. Next, moving on to, I'm not talking about the awesome foursome. No, I'm not speaking about that anymore. I'm sorry. Because even okay, quickly, Dejon and Meg were talking about how, like, what did they say again? Since we've been here, we've never been at the bottom. We've been trying. Okay. But I don't want you guys to think I hate these people. I don't hate them. I don't know them. But guys, I do not see the chemistry between Dejon and Meg, and I do not see the chemistry between Helen and Harry. And I don't think anything has changed in that. We're literally 6 weeks into an 8-week season. I don't think anything has changed in that for me now. Next, we're on to Shakira talking to Tony about Harry and how the situation is getting to her head. And Tony said sometimes some people are better off as friends, i.e. her and Conor. And she was just saying, I don't like him enough. And it just goes back to what I said. I knew it. Yeah. And I mentioned it in the review as well. I do feel like Shakira and Conor were better off as friends. Them together something was just always off. And the fact that Shakira said that pretty much confirms what a lot of us actually knew. Some of you were really riding for Shakira and Conor, but you guys know me on my reviews as well. I've been saying it since they got together that I just don't see the spark there. But genuinely, Shakira and Harry, let's move on. So Shakira and Harry were by the stairs. You do know the scene. And they were speaking about, I think Harry was like, we don't live that far from each other. And then all of a sudden they started speaking about Aldi and the different brands in Aldi and all the different things and what they can do together. And Harry was like, yeah, that would be really lovely for us to meet up on the outside. Also, Harry, I still don't know what game he's playing at. He keeps telling everyone that he's so happy with Helena. They were talking about their unborn kids, blah, blah, blah. He was definitely flirting with Shakira. Yeah, let's call it a spade. He was definitely flirting with Shakira. But at the same time, the conversation was still low-key harmless. Now, at the same time, Conor was obviously in the room with Yaz. And he was just like, I think Yaz said, where's Shakira? And he was like, I don't know. He now ends up leaving the room, walks on the stairs. Shakira didn't even acknowledge him. And I do have to say, I think the least Shakira could have done was it was almost like Conor was a ghost. Conor walked past both her and Harry. Harry even moved out of the way. Shakira continued her combo. Harry continued the combo. So I feel like Shakira herself could have actually acknowledged Conor in that moment. Yeah, she definitely could have, guys. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I feel like she definitely could have because, yeah. Like should have just acknowledged. Next we on to outside. Conor now goes outside and he's like, walking, and Dejon shouts, where's Shakira? And I didn't really understand why, because Dejon, since when did you check for Shakira? I don't know, but instantly Conor was like, she's on the stairs with Harry. Helena was just like, where is she? Oh yeah, she's on the stairs with Harry. Oh, that's odd. The first thing that came to Helena's mind was, do you think Shakira is jealous because me and Harry are exclusive? Why do you seem to think this girl is so obsessed with you? I didn't seem to understand that one. But also at the same time, I don't know why Shakira didn't actually greet him. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. And what I hate from this as well is the fact that what Harry said about, you can get Shakira back, I hate that is low-key manifesting. Like, I wish Shakira stood on business enough. I know she's in her fields, guys, but I wish she stood on business enough to not allow that to be true, because I don't like agreeing with Harry. I don't like agreeing with men in general. Okay, now nighttime, whilst they were getting ready, of course Helena was speaking to Shakira, and she was just like, what's going on with Conor? Is it like, do you like him, do you not like him? And she was just like, listen, all of the above. Like, I am not 100% there. And then also at the same time, Conor was asking Harry about their conversation on the stairs, and Harry said, literally, bro, we weren't talking about much, we were speaking about Aldi. But let's move on to Conor and Shakira having a chat. Shakira said that she can't give 100 to him, and that hurt people. And Conor was just like, well, I just kind of feel like, that means like Harry, and that means this, and basically piecing the puzzle together. Conor essentially said that he knew it, and Shakira obviously also said as well that, she just isn't over certain situations, but it's not her, and then he said it's not your fault, and then he walked off. I do know that she ended up locking it off with him, which definitely was a lot to take on board, but I do feel like Conor could have offered a tiny bit of emotional support. Like, I feel like whenever Conor is in situations like this, and I picked up on this anyway, but I feel like whenever Conor is in situations like this, you can instantly see when the light bulb in his head is switching off. Not talking about him not being smart, I mean like in terms of his emotion to it just completely going AWOL and completely going cold. And I feel like it's similar to, I think what the thing is that why am I fumbling? I think what I'm trying to say is I'm comparing it to when Tony was speaking to Cash about Harrison, and how Cash, although was upset, was still able to provide some support to Tony. We didn't get that with Conor today. Do you get what I mean? So let me know if you understand what I'm trying to essentially say. But I feel like Conor could have at least been like, I do understand it, I am a bit hurt, but blah, blah, blah. It was just like, so what? Yeah, is that what it is? Okay, cool. And then walks off. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think it's because I'm comparing it to Cash that I feel like his response was a bit, do you know what I mean? Of course, instantly Yaz and Tony went to speak with her. Wow, really love girls that support other girls. And instantly Shakira broke down into tears, and she was crying about how she feels really burnt out and she doesn't want to force it with anyone. And I kind of be honest with you, I feel like just because of the ending, which we're going to get into, Shakira might go home. I don't know if so close to the finale she's going to establish a strong connection, but then again, never say never. It happened with Amber, it happened with Mimi. They both ended up winning the season. But I feel like Shakira has a very strong fan base, and if she was able to establish a connection with someone that she really liked and someone that the fans and her supporters and the UK public really liked as well, I do still feel like she has a good chance of winning. I can't lie, I do feel like she still has a really good chance of winning, because people do really like Shakira. People just didn't like Shakira and Conor. And at this stage, 6 weeks in, I don't know, guys. I do wonder if she's going to go home, you know, because she was crying about how she's still mourning a version of Harry that's in her head that she believed him to be. And then Yaz and Tony was just like, do you know who still doesn't know who Harry is? And they both said Helena. So that was quite interesting as well, because I think it goes to show as well that we do already say that Harry low-key gives very interesting vibes all around. But yeah, I need Shakira to feel what she's feeling and then let it go, because I don't feel like Harry's gonna leave Helena for Shakira. If he does though, ooh, plot twist. Wow, plot twist. Let's never say never. You know, these producers are always doing something. Now, of course, they ended up getting a text that there were 2 bombshells ready to meet Conor and Angel. And even the narrator was just like, yes, you've heard it. You know, Meghan and Blue, Love Island royalty. I said, where? I literally said where. Guys, honestly, as you even saw in the beginning of this review, I literally paused it, but not paused it, I muted it, because I didn't really care for the date, if I'm going to be honest with you. But whilst I was walking up and also setting up the camera and stuff, I think Meghan wore Conor's bracelet, and I think she basically was confused about the Shakira situation, and I think Conor said that he was jumping from girl to girl because he was still trying to get over her, whatever. And then Angel and Ty, I think Angel is actually open, not Angel and Ty, sorry, Angel and Blue. I think Angel is actually open to getting to know Blue. I think she said something along the lines of, oh, you picked me, so it'll be really nice to see where this goes. I'm still very much open. But honestly, guys, I genuinely don't have notes, because I don't understand what Meghan is doing back in that villa, what Blue's doing back in that. Like, I feel like if Meghan was dumped because of maybe the Islanders or something, then cool, but she was actually voted off by the public. The public actually didn't want her on the show, and you guys brought her back. And out of all the Islanders who have been dumped, you guys chose Meghan. So Conor is 100% going for Meghan anyway. He was grinning all teeth from what I saw. And because Shakira has now ended it with him, I don't see why he wouldn't go for Meghan. But what I would hate is for them to now make it to the finals, because Meghan shouldn't even be there in the first place. Do you get what I mean? Guys, this season, we've got 2 weeks left. We're just going to stick it out. And God give us strength to tune into the show every single night at 9 p.m. Okay? Of course, you know, Meghan ended up coming back to the villa. And prior to that, sorry, Harry and Shakira were in the... I wonder if Harry will leave Helena for Shakira though. That would be cinema. That would actually be cinema. Wow. But they were in the kitchen, like playing around, laughing or whatever, and Helena was just like, all of us are here, and Harry and Shakira are the only two in the kitchen. Over it. Of course, Meghan ended up coming back. Her friends, her paddies, the trio, whatever, came up hugging her, and everyone's screaming, everyone's shot. And then we know that tomorrow is going to be the Grafties. Guys, that is my review for the day. Okay, I'm done. I'm even surprised I've managed to speak for so long regarding this episode. But God give us strength to continue watching this season to the very end. Amen. But yeah, guys, as always, if you haven't yet subscribed, be sure to subscribe and definitely join the family. Also, sure to follow me on my Instagram and also my Twitter at SarahLeslieX. But other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning into your girl. I love you guys so much. Please you take care, stay blessed, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye.